All right, time to get ugly. I like that. I like that. I like that. Good evening, everybody out there. Brothers, sisters, siblings, etc., and everybody else out there who is just popping on by for, well, let me introduce myself. My name is Bill, and you're watching Bill's Box of Sound. And every Saturday night, right around this time, 10 p.m. on the Eastern time zone, and in the Pacific time zone, it just happens to be at 7 p.m. But wherever you are, it's your time. Or you might not even be watching this live. Uh, you're watching this in another day, another month, something. And you know what? That's fine. You can watch it anytime. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking out the Box of Sound for this evening. We'll be here for the next hour talking all sorts of things about music, records, and just stuff. And, oh, wait a minute. Can't start this without the ASMR of Diet Coke over ice. So let's just get this puppy opened up here. I think I'm distorting a little bit, so I'll just turn that down. All right. Here it is. Oh, yeah, check it out. The lovely sound of Diet Cola hitting the ice cubes. And then subsequently hitting the old taste buds. Oh yeah, that's the way to start it out on a Saturday night. So, good evening, one of us. Good evening, Memphis Lonnie. Good evening, Nate. Good evening, John. And North Carolina Vinyl Picker. Friends all. Good to see you all on today, which is the 28th of June, 2025, and it's been released to the world. Let me grab the big one. Let's see, where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, right here. Ugh. This is the big box of Frank Zappa's Cheaper Than Cheap Hey, Flickering Waves, what's up? Good to see you. And this is the big old box set, which contains the 3 records, the 2 CDs, and the Blu-ray. It's not the one that has the picture discs in it. I've got that on the shelf someplace. I haven't even opened it up yet because I've been so busy. But it's got some lithographs. It's got picture discs, and this this definitely is not cheap, but it's good. Yes, and it's a fantastic concert from 1974. Great liner notes by producer extraordinary Joe Travers and percussionist, unbelievably wonderfully percussionist Ruth Underwood inside of here. And it's available at your store. This boxed set should be available in record stores, brick and mortar record stores, um, with the regular vinyl and the 2 CDs and the Blu-ray and the nice booklet. But the version with the picture discs is only available online. You can also get just the CD and Blu-ray version for a lot cheaper. Well, close to cheap. And of course, you can also get, if you want just the vinyl, black vinyl's available. And it's all good stuff. Now, if you have not seen the movie, you're saying, oh God, not another 1974 release. For the next day or so, because for 72 hours only, and it started yesterday morning, you can watch the whole movie for free on the Frank Zappa YouTube channel. So don't watch it right now, but as soon as I'm done, you go right over there and watch it because it'll be wonderful. Okay? Let me take off this flannel here. And yes, I am wearing a Primus shirt. We've got some Primus news tonight for those of you who are vinyl collectors and want to hear some good stuff from them. Let's see. And what else going on here? Flickering Waves, hello, hello, hello. And everybody else. I might as well just flip the switch and put all the new chat comments down there. So, what's been going on this week? Should I start with new acquisitions or should I start with the news? I'm going to start with the news. Found out this week that Mobile Fidelity has announced. Let me go grab an ancient copy of it. It's way over here in the ease of discussion. And where is it? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. This record right here, this old dog-eared, ring-weared copy of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, their very first album. And you know what? Is this in a polyline sleeve? No, it's not. I gotta clean this puppy up. Actually, it is a polyline sleeve that I did put it into. This is the original record on the Cotillion record label, which at that time was a subsidiary of the Atlantic Record Company. Actually, they had a distribution deal with Atlantic. And this is the first album which has the hit single Lucky Man on it, but also has a lot of classical music leaning tracks such as The Barbarian, Knife Edge, The Three Fates, and Tank. And it's also got a couple of Greg Lake songs such as the hit, like I said, Lucky Man, and also Take a Pebble. And I'm wondering if the new version is going to have all the credit given to the classical composers that Keith Emerson ripped off to do these songs. Anyway, this is going to be re-released by Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab as a popularly priced album. I mean, only like I think 39.99 it's going to be for a hi-fi release, sourced from the original master tape. Actually, not the original master tape, a direct copy of the original master tape, because as far as they know, the original master tape cannot be located, or it may be missing completely. But this album will be coming out in a completely remastered version, as it is a very requested title. Now, when Atlantic Records did their 75 records for 75 years of their existence, and people were upset because Emerson, Lake and Palmer, who were on a Atlantic distributed label, and later on their subsequent albums had the Atlantic label on them. They're saying, well, why won't you put Emerson, Lake and Palmer? Well, over the years, the rights to this album went into other hands. So I believe that is who Mobile Fidelity is licensing it from. So those people who were hoping to get a high fidelity copy of that, well, Mobile Fidelity is putting it out. I pre-ordered it because this copy is really, really worn out. And yeah, you know what? If you look enough, you'll be able to pay a dime for it, or a buck or something like that, because many copies of these were sold. And hey, you never know. People who bought this back in the late 60s may have passed away by now, or just gotten rid of their records. So you'll find these at secondhand in many stores. So yeah, I'm kind of happy about that. So I think that was a good thing that Mobile Fidelity did. And so I guess that the original master tape, the copy of the original master tape, was transferred to digital, and with high rate DSD super audio, and they're going to make the record out of that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what and hearing what that is like. Now, speaking of Mobile Fidelity, they recently released. Let me pull out this album because I know I got it handy. Let's see. Actually, it's over here, being blocked by my Mr. Bunglebox set. Because I got both of their good albums, that is. Here we go. This album right here. This was just released by Mobile Fidelity on a 2-record set, 45 RPM. This is the New York Dolls debut album, which has such great hits as Trash, Personality Crisis, Jet Boy, what else? Pills, oh yeah, To My Head, Rock and Roll Nerves Going to My Head. What other great tracks are on this album? Let's see. Frankenstein, which is not the Edgar Winter song. Looking for a Kiss, Vietnamese Baby. Oh man, what a great record this is. But think about it. This is some fun punk rock. Are you going to pay $60 plus shipping, handling, postage, and mailing to get a quote-unquote hi-fi version of this? No. This album is meant to be played loud, and it could be anything from a Radio Shack stereo to a Crosley record player, all the way up to your Macintosh and your Thorns turntable blasted out like crazy. But it's a rockin' record produced by Todd Rundgren, released back in 1973 or 74, I think. That's when it came out. It came out in 73. And what a great album this is. But man, paying $60 for a double 45 RPM of this record, I just can't, yeah, 73. I just can't get on board with that. Shush. Anyway, So that's what Mobile Fidelity is doing. And another thing. Oh, did you see this on the Rhino Records website? There's a box set of the first 4 Ramones albums on Blu-ray audio mixed in Dolby Atmos sound. Really? The Ramones in Dolby Atmos? Come on. Pull out a record or one of those wretched compact discs and listen to the Ramones that way. If you're going to sit down and take in the immersive sound of the Ramones in on your 5.1, well, on your Dolby Atmos gajillion speaker system, you know, you can have a Dolby Atmos system with as little as 7 speakers and a subwoofer. But still, this is kind of silly. Personally, I don't think that the Ramones have to be listened to in Dolby Atmos to be appreciated. Just, yeah, come on. Ugh. Hello, Peru. Paul Ayers, good to see you. Wyoming Dave, hey, good to see you, man. What's up? So, come on. The Ramones in Dolby Atmos? I don't know. Just don't make sense. All right. Now, another record that has come out recently on extremely expensive hi-fi vinyl. I'll pull it out right here. I don't have the extremely expensive version, but I've got the original. Michael Jackson's Off the Wall with the magical socks. And, you know, if you're into Michael Jackson, arguably, this is a better sounding album than Thriller. This was recently put out as a Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab 1-step, which means however they do their mastering, and I believe they digitized the original master tape in a very, 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 very high resolution thing before they committed it to a record. And I believe it's double 45, yeah, RPM 2 record set of the Off the Wall album, which is a really good Michael Jackson album. Great songs. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You, Working Day at Night, Off the Wall, She's Out of My Life, Can't Help It, It's the Falling in Love, and also Burn This Disco Out. If you're into this, you know it's a good album. But I found out something this week. Listen to the song Rock With You. Now, if you're familiar with that song, yeah, they've got the chorus that goes, I want to rock with you all night, dance you in today. So, I put on this album, which is a very early pressing, and I hear that song. And then I put on my CD of it, and I hear that same chorus. I want to rock with you all night, dance you in today. Has these hand claps and finger pops on it. It's a second mix. This is the original mix. They changed the mix on some of the records, added the hand claps and the finger pops in subsequent pressings. And I'm wondering, that Mobile Fidelity version, is it with the claps or the original version without? So, instead of seeking out a Mobile Fidelity 1-step, which costs way too much money, and they're sold out anyway, I decided to reach out to the one and only Melinda Murphy, who's got a very popular channel on YouTube, and she's got a lot of Mobile Fidelity records. As a matter of fact, she was flown out to Mobile Fidelity and got to witness some of the mastering of the Van Halen stuff, and she's getting all sorts of promos and stuff. Very nice for you, Melinda. Good score on that. But anyway, I know that she has that album. So I shot her a message and I said, "Can you listen to the song Rock with You and tell me in the chorus after he sings I want to rock with you, do you hear the hand claps and later in the song the finger popping?" So she got back to me later on that day and she says, "Yes, my copy does have the hand claps and the finger popping, and it sounds fantastic." Well, okay, yeah, I have no doubt that it sounds fantastic. But original master recording? I think not. Watch what you do, Mobile Fidelity. One step. I'm one step ahead of you, folks. So that's very good, Lonnie. Makes you want to yell, Shimon. All right. Oh boy. More news, more news. Who died this week? Lalo Schifrin, composer of many movie soundtracks, and also the theme song to Mission Impossible. Dun 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 in 5-4. So yeah, he passed away. Bobby Sherman, the uh, teen idol of the early 70s. I don't have any records by him, but he was popular back in the day. He passed away this week. And the third one, and probably the one that meant the most to people who watch this program on a regular basis, is Mick Ralphs, who was originally the main lead guitar player in the band Mott the Hoople. Man, this is a great album. This is an album on Atlantic. It's called Brain Capers. Quite possibly my favorite Mott the Hoople album. But I'm also a big fan of All the Young Dudes. I guess the story was Mott the Hoople was not getting a lot of success on the Atlantic label, so they were about to break up. David Bowie heard about it, and he says, "No, don't break up. I'll get you a new record deal. I'll produce an album for you. I will revive your career." And damn it, he did it with All the Young Dudes. Mick Ralphs was the guitar player on that. And also, after the success of All the Young Dudes, Atlantic Records, right there, released a compilation called Rock and Roll Queen, if you know what I mean. I'm just a rock and roll star. This album has a lot more of the rockin' tunes that are on the early Atlantic albums, with the exception of Brain Capers. I think that the early Mott the Hoople albums on Atlantic really did not have enough fast rockin' songs on it because this band was capable of really rocking. And with probably one of the most popular albums of their career, Mott. This came out. Now, a lot of people think, oh yeah, this was Ian Hunter's band before he went solo, but Mick Ralphs was a big part of that band. But this was his last album as a member of Mott the Hoople. After Mott came out, the next year an album called The Hoople came out. Mick Ralphs only sings background vocals on one track, and he's not credited as a member of the band on this. And you look at the deep into the liner notes on the sleeve, and it says Mick Ralphs was apparently in bad company. Bad company, you say? Who's that? Well, you know who Bad Company is. It's this band, which Paul Rodgers is the lead singer of. And I got 3 albums of theirs. The first one, I've got the second album, Straight Shooter. And I've got, is this one Burning Sky? Yeah, no, Burning Sky, that's it. Those are the 3 albums that I have by Bad Company. So, Mick was 81 years old. Sorry to see you go, dude. And those are the deaths for this week. Okay. Well, yeah, of course, Mr. Bradley. Ian Hunter wrote Cleveland Rocks as part of his solo career, and Mick Ronson played lead guitar on that. Very nice. Yes, I do. I do think that Lalo Schifrin also did the theme to Mannix as well. He did a lot of stuff. Anyway, there's another high fidelity re-release that was announced this week, and it's not going to be coming out till I think near the end of August, and this is going to be a cool one. The self-titled Funkadelic album, the first Funkadelic album. This is great stuff. This has Mommy, What's a Funkadelic? Music for My Mama. I Got a Thing, You Got a Thing, Everybody's Got a Thing. Produced by George Clinton. Let's see. Oh, and the great weird track at the end, What is Soul? Yeah, this is psychedelic funk at its hottest. Now, this is an ancient copy on the original Westbound label. This is coming out as a remastered, completely in analog, at least that's what they say, on double 45 RPM. And I think they're even whipping out colored vinyl for that one. But they're also putting it out as a popularly priced single record. I think it's coming out as either black vinyl or orange vinyl. I'm not completely sure. But let me show you my copy, which I found used at a record show. This thing has scratches all over. There's some scratches right there. Yeah. What other scratches? Let's go to the other side. Let's see if we can see the scratches on this puppy. I cleaned it up pretty well, but there are lots of scratches on this record. Oh, you can see a few there. Yeah. This record has been very well loved. I'll bet you this record has seen more than its share of wild parties. Oh, see more scratches? More scratches. So yeah, this has pretty much the Rice Krispies background noise on it. Look at oh yeah, look at the scratches on that dead wax. That's all through the record, man. And this thing has been cleaned like crazy. It's been put through the vacuum. It's been put through the ultrasonic, and it's messed up. So this album is still enjoyable, but you know what? I may just spring for the reissue, not the $60 one. No, I don't think I want to get this on 45 RPM and pay $60 for it. I want to pay less than half of that and get the regular 33 RPM of that. So, yeah, that's good news. Funkadelic being re-released later on this year. Oh, what other news we got? Oh, yeah. The other thing that I did not tell you about was the Primus news. Now, as regular viewers of this program know, Primus just got a new drummer, John Hoffington, or Hoffer. And they are going to be, they've been on tour with the Sasanta, where is it here? Let me pull up the Sasanta record here, which has tracks by Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle. This was to celebrate the 60th birthday of Maynard James Keenan, lead singer extraordinaire, mostly known from Tool. And Primus went through a very, very strenuous audition process and got their new drummer. and they have recorded a new song which has lead vocals shared by Les Claypool and Maynard James Keenan, and it's called Little Lord Fentanyl. And you can stream that. It's also on YouTube. But they are releasing that as a 7-inch single in burgundy colored vinyl. This will be Primus's first 7-inch single that has been released before it was on an album. Now, Primus has never really released any singles on their own. Third Man Records did put out a box set, which I've shown on this show, of 7-inch singles of songs that have been popular throughout their career. But this is the first one. You can go to clubbastardo.com or you can go to primusville.com and click on the store, and you can pre-order this 7-inch single of Little Lord Fentanyl. And on the flip side, it's got a live version of Duchess and the Proverbial Mind Spread with John Hoffman on drums. They've also got that on streaming as well. You could listen to that, and it's hot. It's wonderful. So, yeah, needless to say, I pre-ordered that sucker in a heartbeat. And when I noted on the Primus page that I had ordered it, I got a like from Lur. That psyched me up pretty much. What can I say? So that is all of the stuff that I had listed down. The only other thing was, let's see, new original jazz classics from the Kraft label. Let's see, Kraft OJC release schedule for 2025. Let's see. When is this? June 2024? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Okay. Are these the new ones? Yeah, the new ones that are going to be released. We're going to have Frank West, John Coltrane, and Paul Quinchette. Wheelin' and Dealin'. That's coming out. There's going to be a Kenny Burrell album, self-titled. There's going to be a Kenny Drew Trio album released on Riverside through there. Also, let's see, the Sonny Chris Orchestra, Sonny's Dream, or Birth of the New Cool. And I believe the last one is Ken McIntyre and Eric Dolphy, Looking Ahead, also on the original Jazz Classics series. And let's see, when is that going to be released? Those will be shipping, I believe, in July and August. They're not going to be all coming out at the same time. So those of you who are original jazz classics fans, you'll be able to get that in. But, now that I'm 35 minutes into the program, now we have what a lot of people love tuning into this for. Oh, by the way, while you're at it, hit that damn like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Okay? All right. And while you're at it, if you don't already have a copy, buy a copy of my album, which I'm trying to find a copy of right now. Here it is. Yeah, this is the one I have without the record inside of it, just so I can show it on the program. The album by Spudlok, which is called Meh, and it's a wonderfully bizarre album, a wonderfully silly album of stupid songs played stupidly by me and my buddy Todd. And what can I say? It's the worst album you'll ever love. And it's gotten quite a few positive reviews. Very surprising to me. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me how bad this sucks. But hey, whatever. If people like it, who am I to argue? All right. A member of the Northeast Ohio Vinyl Club dude named Gavin, who I had not met previously, was posting on Facebook that he was having a moving sale. Hey, Thumbfinger, good to see you. So anyway, he was posting that he is moving to England. He's a British person living in America, and him and his family are moving to England, and he's got quite a huge record collection. So, he was having a moving sale. He's selling his record collection, and everything must go. Did I ever end up making shirts? Yes, I did. And what I will do is after the show tonight, I'm probably going to put a link to where you can buy a shirt. I only know of two people who have one, me and also my good friend Kevin Hart out in Wyoming. But yeah, at least two people have shirts. But anyway, so this guy Gavin, he's moving to England, and he had an extensive record collection, and he can't take it all with him to the UK. He'd love to, but you got to pay for shipping that stuff over to England. So he purged as much of his collection as he could, and he had a lot of stuff. And he had a big sale last Saturday. And I had a very busy Saturday already planned. So at the end of the day, I messaged him and I said, listen, I couldn't make it out. Is there any way that I can do a last chance look through and see what you got left so I can buy some records off of you? And he messaged me back and said, yeah, sure. Come on out on Sunday morning. Let me know before you come out because, we like to sleep. We like to get up on Sunday and sleep in a little bit. So got to his house about 10:30 or so in the morning. Started going through lots and lots of mostly jazz and classical and stuff. All the good rock stuff had been picked through pretty much. But let me show you what I picked up, because I picked up some good records from him. Speaking of jazz, on the Contemporary label, Music to Listen to Barney Kessel by. This is an old stereo album on the Contemporary label. I believe this was originally released in 1957, and I think that this copy was manufactured around 1960. It is in pristine condition, and there's some hot playing on this. We've got Barney Kessel on guitar, Buddy Collette on flute, alto flute, and clarinet, Jules Jacob on oboe and French horn, George W. Smith on clarinet, Howard Terry on bassoon, clarinet, and bass clarinet, Justin Gordon on clarinet and bass clarinet, Andre Previn on piano, Buddy Clark on bass, and Shelly Manne on drums. Also, there's a track that has Ted Nash on flute, Jimmy Rawls on piano, and Red Mitchell on bass. And there's also a track that says Claude Williamson plays piano on one track. And man, what a record this is. Very hard to come by. Picked it up for a song. Next up, on the bunch of records I got from him, also on the Contemporary label, we've got Andre Previn with Red Mitchell and Shelly Manne on drums, Pal Joey. Now, I know that Andre Previn was a jazz keyboard player, but I believe he made most of his fortune being a classical orchestra conductor. I've got, I think, at least two different versions of Gustav Holst's Planets with him conducting. But I saw this, and this is a mono copy that originally came out, let's see here. Originally came out in 1957, and I believe that this is one of the original releases on the Yellow Contemporary Records label. And this is in mono, and it's in thrilling, wonderful mono. Record is in freaking great condition. Very happy to get a hold of this. Andre Previn and his pal Joey. I think this is currently out of print. So that was, let's see, there's one other jazz record that I got, which I haven't listened to yet. This is Stefan Grappelli, Philip Catherine, Larry Coryell, and Niels Henning Ørsted Pedersen. Young Django. So Stefan Grappelli on violin, Philip Catherine on guitar, as well as Larry Coryell, and Pedersen on bass. And this came out originally in 1979 on the MPS label. And the vinyl's very sweet on it. Very happy to get a hold of that. Have not taken a listen to that yet. Excuse me. Let's put that baby away. Take a sip for what ails you. Oh, we got some more comments here. Charlie Anderson, hey! Looking forward to a nice Cleveland winter after this week? Yeah. It's been hot this week. Highs in the 90s. Today it got up to like 85 or 87. However, was visiting with some friends, got to sit outside in a very nice shaded area. That was pretty cool. So I'm not going to complain too much about this hot weather. Anyway, next, John Simon. This album has been raved about by Sir Norman Maslov on his channel, and also by Penn Jillette on his podcast, Penn Sunday School, especially for the song, where is it, the motorcycle song is it called? It's called Motorcycle Man. Now, John Simon was mostly known as a record producer. He produced lots of records, including The Circle. He wrote Red Rubber Ball. And also he produced the very first Blood, Sweat, and Tears album. No, not the self-titled one, which David Clayton Thomas sings on. I'm talking about the album Child is Father to the Man, which Al Kooper sings on. He produced that album. This is kind of an interesting record, and since I had heard of it in many places, and this album has been kept in beautiful condition, and it's on the olive green Warner Brothers, I had to pick it up because it was just a few bucks. So very happy with that. Also, I mentioned Melinda Murphy earlier. I've got a copy of this on pink vinyl, but this is another copy on black vinyl for just a couple of dollars. I could not leave behind this copy of the Rolling Stones Miss You disco version. It's like 8 minutes long on 33 RPM, but the cut on this is hot. This is a great sounding 12-inch single. So, no, Nate, John Simon and Paul Simon are not related, even though they knew each other. But, yeah, John Simon is a different guy. Okay, another one I picked up. Now, I do have a mono copy of this that I got from Ron Swede's record collection. Peter Gunn, music by Henry Mancini. But this is a living stereo version of it. So I didn't have this in stereo, so I picked this up for $1. No problem. I'll take that. So yeah, no, not Paul Simon. John Simon, I'm pretty sure wrote that. Or better yet, you know what? I'm going to go and pull out my copy of the Circle album right now. Let's put this controversy to rest, shall we? Let's see. Let's go to the end of the letter C. Where is it? I know I've got it. I know I got it. Let's see. Here it is. I got it. I got it. Oh, jammed in. Here we go. The Circle, Red Rubber Ball. What a great song. As a child, I loved this and hearing it on. Oh, you'll put down $20, huh? My audio quality is really low? Huh, okay. Here, it's a little bit higher this time. Sorry about that, Charlie. All right, let's check this out. Red Rubber Ball, written by P. Simon. You are absolutely correct. Oh, dear, dear, dear. All right. But you know who arranged the album? John Simon and the Circle. Produced by John Simon. So, Paul Simon wrote the song, and John Simon produced the record. So, like I said, he was mostly known as a record producer. So, that's good. All right. A couple other things. Now, he had a lot of classical music, a lot of box sets that he was selling for cheap. And it's like, I don't have the room for all these classical sets. But I saw that he had 2 copies of this Mozart box, the last 6 symphonies, number 35, 36, 38, 39, 40, and 41. So it's like, yeah, why not? I'll pick this up. Haven't listened to it yet. And then here comes the American classical stuff and the weird stuff. Check this out on the None Such label. George Crumb, Macrocosmos, Volume 1 from 1972, based on the Zodiac. Okay? 12 fantasy pieces for amplified piano, played by David Burge. This is some unusual and wonderful shit, man. And about halfway through, there's parts where the guy who's playing the piano, who is David Burge, starts singing and vocalizing. Really weird. I love this. Yeah, you got that right, Middle Theologian. So that I got, the George Crumb. Also, filling in the holes in my Edgar Varese collection, we've got Offrandes, Integrales, Octandra, and Equatorial by the Contemporary Chambers Ensemble with Arthur Weisberg as a conductor. And all of these are in absolutely mint shape. So, haven't listened to this one, but man, I dig this. Didn't George Crumb write that Night of the Electric Insects? It's possible. The one person who I think would know that would be Michael P. Dawson. Okay, one more of these None Such records. We've got, and I can't wait to listen to this. I cleaned this earlier today, and I'm going to listen to it tonight. Donald Erb, Music for Instruments and Electronic Sounds. Reconnaissance for instrumental ensemble, conducted by Donald Erb, and In No Strange Land, with Stuart Dempster on trombone and Bertram Turetsky on double bass. But the electronic instruments, that's where it gets really messed up and cool in here. All right, so on Reconnaissance, for violin, double bass, piano, percussion, Moog synthesizer, and Moog polyphonic instrument, we've got Bonnie Douglas on violin, Rand Forbes on double bass, Ralph Grierson on piano, Kenneth Watson on percussion. Dig this, Michael Tilson Thomas on Moog synthesizer. Yeah, Michael Tilson Thomas, the conductor. My favorite version of Rhapsody in Blue is conducted by Michael Tilson Thomas. What else we got here? Leonard Stein on Moog polyphonic instrument. And are you ready for this? Technical assistant Paul Beaver, record producer Bernard Krause. Beaver and Krause are on this as well. So, yeah, this definitely is going to be some funny noises and some really adventurous stuff. I can't wait to hear this. And you've got a Steve Reich album that Michael Tilson Thomas plays on? Very cool. Whew. And the last record in that pile of stuff that I got, I posted a picture of this on Facebook. The Four Symphonies of Charles Ives. Now, Charles Ives is an American composer. I believe he died in the 30s or the 40s. He made his money as a businessman, an insurance salesman, and then he had a second career as a composer, an American composer, writing American themes and interweaving a lot of American popular songs of yesteryear, because this is very old music, 1800s, early 1900s, into his symphonies. It's kind of cool. I've listened to half of this so far. I got to listen to the rest of it. And one thing I remember about Charles Ives is that he once wrote a piece for multiple marching bands, and the way that it was to be performed was for the marching bands to be playing all at the same time, marching around in different parts of a park, so people could hear them all over the place. And let's see, where is the booklet for this? I've found out some other really cool stuff about Charles Ives and his compositions. Is this the book? No. Is this the book? Yeah, that's it. All right. This is the booklet that comes with the Charles Ives symphonies. But I got to find this one thing. Some really cool stuff going on here. Let's see. Okay. While still in his teens, Ives developed his own system of polytonality, the technique of writing for two or more different keys simultaneously, and in a piece he composed at the age of 20 called Song for Harvest Season, he assigned 4 different keys to 4 instruments. Composers Henry Brandt and Karlheinz Stockhausen today follow Ives' device of strategically distributing musicians over a physical space. In Ives' The Unanswered Question from 1908, as the dominant sound shifts from one position to another, the place the music comes from is as important a dimension of the piece as what is played by the musicians. And in the Concord Sonata, which was composed in 1909 to 1915, Charles Ives invented the tone cluster, where a pianist uses either his forearm or a block of wood to sound simultaneous whole groups of notes, if not octaves of notes. People who dug Charles Ives were Bela Bartok, Igor Stravinsky, and Henry Cowell. And yeah, he also wrote pieces that had notes written so deeply they could not physically be played. So, yeah, cool stuff. Charles Ives. No, I do not have Charles Dodge, the Earth's magnetic field. I've heard about it, though. I have heard about it. All right, so the last thing that we're going to do here, we may go a little bit over. Notify the affiliates. We may be going late. All right. Where is it? Oh, yeah. The last thing I got from Gavin's uh, moving sale was a couple of books. Big books. Thick books. Books written by Martin C. Strong. The Great Rock Discography and The Great Alternative and Indie Discography. Thick, thick books. This is the 5th edition of this book. He was dumping these because these are heavy books. He didn't want to ship these across the pond. And over 1,000 pages in the first book. And in the alternative and indie book, let's see, we got about more than 700 pages. And it's kind of neat because the way that the typography in here is set up, it looks almost exactly like the liner notes for Frank Zappa's You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore. Really interesting. But let's just take this book and just run through and pop my finger in at this part. And let's see. Oh, Alex Harvey. Born in February 1935, the Gorbals area, Glasgow, Scotland. Following loads of jobs in the early 50s, he played in various skiffle groups, and after winning a local talent contest in 1956, he was dubbed the Tommy Steele of Scotland. In 1959, his big soul band backed American touring stars Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent, the former subsequently being killed in a car crash a few months later. They soon made their way to Germany, where they played many gigs while signing to Polydor in the process. Recording a few LPs and several 45s, some of them solo, Alex Harvey joined the crew of the Hair musical in London on the West End. And in 1972, he returned to Scotland and founded the group Tear Gas, who were just about to disband. And after 2 poorly received albums, they became the sensational Alex Harvey Band. All sorts of cool stuff in here. Now, out of this book, The Great Rock Discography, and this book here, The Great Alternative and Indie Discography, somebody name a band. The first person to name a band, I will look it up and see if they got something on these guys. Metal Theologian is showing off his big brain right now with the stuff he's listening to. Very cool. All right, come on, somebody, anybody. There's at least 17 of you out there. Somebody type the name of a band, and I will look it up in one of these books. Come on, come on. I want to read you a bedtime story. All right. Oh. Okay, stop. Okay, all right. Oh, you know what? I'm tempted for Nitzareb since their lead singer just died. But Nate wants me to look up Foghat. Okay? So, let's take a look and see if I can find Foghat in here. Let's see, we got Creed, Fats Domino, Donovan. Let's see. E, F. No, I'm only going to do Foghat if it's in here. Let's see. Grand Funk, Go-Go's, Jay Giles Band, Peter Frampton. We're getting close. Fountains of Wayne, Ben Folds, Foo Fighters, Foreigner, Focus. Oh, wait a second. Focus. Wait a minute. No, Foghat. Fetus. Oh, here it is. If you've got the 4th edition of this book, you'll be able to read about Foghat. But not in the 5th version. Ooh, Edgar Broughton Band. Okay, let's look up Edgar Broughton. I remember him. Sorry for everybody else who had high hopes of their people being selected, but hey, I may whip this out some other time. Let's see, Buzzcocks, Butterfield, Butthole Surfers, Bush. Okay. James Brown. T-O-U-V. You know what? Kippington Lodge, Brinley's One. Edgar Broughton Band. Dig out a copy of the Great Psychedelic discography. Man, for as big as this book is, it's massively not. There's a lot of stuff missing. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go for Nitzareb. So let's see. This is in the alternative and indie. So let's see. Happy Flowers, Letters to Cleo, Menswear. Here's the ends. Naked Ray Gun. Nitzareb. We've got Nitzareb right there. Woohoo! Okay. I'm just going to read a little bit of this. Okay, formed in Chelmsford, Essex, England, 1983 by school friends Douglas McCarthy and Bon Harris, who were soon joined by David Goudet. Inspired by industrial pioneers like Suicide and DAF, the trio released a series of independent singles like Isn't It Funny How Your Body Works, Warsaw Ghetto, Let Your Body Learn, and Murderous before being snapped up by premier electronic experimentation outlet Mute Records, or Geffen in the States. A long-awaited Flood-produced debut album, That Total Age, including a revamped version of Let Your Body Learn, surfaced in 1987 and saw Nitzareb join the new vanguard of synth abusers, alongside the likes of Ministry, Front 242, KMFDM, etc. As the 80s progressed into the 90s, the band's jackboot approach became increasingly dance floor friendly as the impact of the house techno explosion slowly filtered through to the industrial scene. Certainly, 1991's Ebbhead was their highest profile album released to date, drawing generally favorable comments from the press and spawning a near top 50 hit with Godhead. Yet, a gap of 4 years before 1995's big hit, which I call Big Shit, led to a loss of momentum, the harder end of the industrial spectrum bogging the limelight with massive selling albums by the likes of Ministry and especially Nine Inch Nail. And actually, it's not produced Nitzareb, it's supposed to be produced Nitzareb. So, that's that. Limited, interesting stuff. So, it probably has the names of every band that put out a record, but not the biographies of them. All right, so let's bring up a weird sound on the synthesizer, and I'm going to bid you a good night. I'll see you next week, July 5th. And if you don't have me signed up, if you're not subscribed to me on Twitch, please do so. I'm going to try and do a live stream on Twitch of some records, in about an hour or so. I've got some stuff to do, so I may go on the air on Twitch a little bit later tonight, and if so, maybe I'll see a couple of you there. So let's put up some strange noises, and I want to thank you for stopping by. Have a great week. Be nice to everybody. Go listen to some music. Or go watch Cheaper Than Cheap if you haven't listened to it yet. It's for free. You can watch it without buying it. Go to the Frank Zappa YouTube channel and watch Cheaper Than Cheap. It's a 2-hour fantastic concert from the 74 band. All right, that's it. So, once again, good night. That's it. Good night, everybody. Thank you again. Oh, Foghat! Denied! Oh my god!